Welcome to the Small Scape. Today we're talking 5 things you absolutely need for your nano tank, and these I think are the best options. Let me know if you have any suggestions, especially if they're weird. The weirder the better, because you know me, they're going to be a little odd. Number 1, you're going to need to fill up your nano tanks, and this is something, and all of these 5 items I have found myself using every single week, so I thought I would share. This is it's called a beverage jar. I've talked about this before, and it is working out perfectly. It's very long and skinny. I've gotten this at my local grocery store, but they do have them on Amazon. If I do see them, I will link them in the description, Amazon affiliate link. But this one's nice. It has a lid, it has handles, and it's really easy to fill up the tank. It holds 2 gallons, so this will top off the 22 very nicely, 2 gallons. And then I can also use it for smaller tanks to just add maybe a gallon in there. And the most important thing is whatever you're going to use to fill up your tank, a watering can, a bucket, whatever, make sure it fits in your sink. And of course the sink that is closest to your aquarium. So this is on the 2nd floor, so I make sure that it fit in my bathroom sink, and it works out great. And when you use the little spout, which is really great if you're going to be using these for quarantine tanks, which I've suggested. If you have, it's small, it's only 2 gallons, but it can work in a pinch. Maybe you get some shrimp, or you want to keep small fish, of course this is a nano channel, in quarantine for a little bit. They can work out really well for a number of different uses, and the lid comes in handy. It's just really simple. You do have to kind of balance it, so it's a little tricky, but the water doesn't disturb the substrate. Number 2, we are sponsored by Fritz Aquatics, and you will have to use water conditioner. We use Fritz Complete, and my suggestion, especially if you have nano tanks, get the little bottle that has just the little dropper, and it works out really well, just absolutely perfectly. It's small to keep with your small tanks, so you don't have this big ginormous bottle. It's just something that I prefer. And then 1 drop per gallon. It's super simple to add to your tanks. Number 3, you're going to need some tweezers or something to maybe extend your reach to even a small tank. I don't particularly care for these. I'm just letting you know. I don't like them. Not only do they have those rubber things that are very hard to hold. This is a gift from Lee. Lee is one of our friends who we see at the swaps all the time, and he gave me one of these, knowing that I loved hacks. It's like a long fork, and if I can find this on Amazon, I think that's where I got it. I will include it as well. It is just coming really handy if maybe I want to, kind of acquire a couple of snails. I do have a few puppers. Also, maybe I can even use it for little Anubias. My little Anubias Nano Petite is growing back very nicely. If I wanted to kind of hold it a little bit on, if I'm going to reattach it or something, it's just come in really handy for things that tweezers may just kind of get caught on and just don't work well, especially since it's, you're squeezing way up top this long handle tweezers, and, where you're actually grabbing something is too far away sometimes. That's just my thought. The next item is something that I found at a fish store that I was like, oh, this is fun. I'll try it's more like a skimmer net. And I looked, and I did find these on Amazon. I think they come in probably like a pack of 5 or something. I will link those as well. I just have found this to be very, very useful in scooping duckweed. Duckweed, I know duckweed. And it's just something that I have just kept there. I did actually use it to pick up a shrimp, I think. I needed to transfer a shrimp to a different tank, and it did work out quite well. And it's just kind of a fun round flat shape. So I just thought I would share because I've used it multiple times. But you do know my duckweed hack with using a comb. The comb also works really well. Of course, I prefer the one without a handle, but those have kind of disappeared from the house. So I'm using this one occasionally as well. Another item is, you're going to need to scrape the glass at some point. And if the more you do it, my lights just turned out, but is the plastic razor blade. I have shared these before, but this is kind of a reminder. Make sure you have plastic razor blades. They come in all different department stores, Home Depots and the Ace Hardwares. And I'm just not as nervous leaving them lying around, and they won't rust because they're plastic. Now, speaking of substrate, not that we were, but You know I love substrate, all different kinds of substrates, but here's my tip. Make sure that you have at least a little bit of some sort of pea gravel sized gravel. I got these two colors both from Zuxai in Elgin. I'm in Illinois, but it's so handy to kind of bridge the gap between rocks and substrate, and like your sand, whatever your substrate is, and the multicolored ones I can't recommend enough because it'll go with pretty much any aquascape. And then speaking of rocks, if you are deciding, especially if you're doing tiny tanks, if you're deciding between Cereus stone and dragonstone, I am going to suggest dragonstone because I find myself using it, playing with it, planning with it way more, and it is so much better than Cereus stone. I'm just going to throw this out there because it's so easy to break apart. Funny story about this is I found this little pile in the lawn. I don't know who could have tossed it out there, or I have no idea. I think it's Mr. Primetime. Matter of fact, I know what it is. So I had to forage this, clean it up, and there's my prized pile. So I hope this quick little video helps you if you are planning some small scapes, and these are just options of things that you need on kind of like the daily, and these are my favorite options. Let me know your favorites, and I'll see you in the next one.